Okay, so whoa, voice crack. Okay, this is Randall deck version 1.0. So let's just give explanation to I guess the game plan. Um, Level 0, you have the Yuta Maki meme combo down the bottom right. Uh, I feel like 2 and 2 is a good enough number. The cards are strong enough independently on their own. If you happen to have both, then that's even better. Shiori and Asuka in the 0 line, obviously, just kind of like an intermediate play. You play it for the buff, you play it for the mill, you play it for getting 3-2 Katsuhida's early drop condition. Uh, with much less bonds in this deck, like I'm not playing, there's no bond to the level 1 combo in this deck, and the only other bonders I'm really playing are the Suiciders and the counter, which may or may not stay in the deck for the 1-0 TD Katsuhida. If those do come out, then definitely not playing Yuta, which is what I was about to get to. I'm playing 2 copies of the Brainstorm. Let's see. For hand fix, 2 Hisomu, 2 Chidori. The 2 stock Suiciders may or may not remain stock Suiciders, and I'll probably test the Mill 3, give 1k on attack Tenga. I'm moving on to the level 1 line, running 4 copies of the Noriko book combo. Just guaranteed advantage. Seems simple enough. 4 Suiciders. Running 2 copies of the Chidori as a bond target for that. And 2 copies of the Clock Encore support. This is mainly for once you hit level 2 for keeping your very large level 3s on your board, but can also be used to keep a 1-0 Noriko on the board if you have another copy of the book or you pants into a book. It doesn't get the on-play power ability, obviously, because it wasn't played, but you have other ways that you can buffer, like the Shiori and Asuka, you have Hisomu, potentially the 0-0 Tenga, if that make the give 1k, if that makes it into the list. So you're not totally lost on how much power you can hit for if you decide to Clock Encore that. I like 2 copies of the 1-1 event that kills opponent's front row, especially because if your Norikos do end up falling short of your opponent's power level, like they have a counter or something, you can just like get rid of their threat, punch for a little bit of extra soul damage. Ultimately, the goal of this deck is to just be stock efficient. You're not really trying to pay too much stock because you're trying to spend it later on cards like the Katsuhira and the Honoka early drops to take control of the field at level 2. And assuming you're able to stabilize there, the 3-2 Noriko will let you finish out the game by making your opponent afraid to hit you, because if they hit you, then they're also going to hit themselves. That's pretty much the summary game plan, I guess. So, Phillip, commence your shit talkerino.
Okay, so I think the most obvious change that I have is -2 1-0 counter, +1 3-2 Sonozaki, and +1 Hisomu. Purely because I don't see you ever using that 1-0 counter as a counter. I see you using it as a bond. And I think if you're going to bond for the 3-2 Sonozaki when you're running drawers, plus a Brainstorm, plus a 1-1 salvage event, plus a salvage card,
Might as well just play it.
run. Yep, I think you just run the 4th copy instead of running some off-trait thing. I think you cut the 0-0 stock bomb and you swap it for 2 copies of the whatchamacallit. I also think you drop the 2-1 Yuta, and I think you play the
Noriko one instead, the level support.
Yeah, I think you play the Noriko instead.
It's definitely an option because this deck doesn't value bonds nearly as much as a deck that has Yuta would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also think you drop the 3-2 Honokas to 1 copy because real talk, you don't have the stock gen to play a heavy level 2 game into double or triple Sonozaki. So I don't think you're realistically spending 4 stock on early plays.
Well, on the plus side though, for the early game, you don't have to spend as much. Assuming you have like a Clock Encore support, you don't have to spend as much stock to maintain board because you can talk yourself for advantage.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
You're gonna clock encore at 104K?
that's a card, dude.
You're
That's a
gonna clock
card.
encore at 104K. And
That's a
then you're
card.
gonna side for one.
That's a card.
All right. You know what? Cripperino over here. No, that's a card. You know what? Mysterious Challenger is a card. Um, I think you also can drop the 0/0 Honecker to if you're playing the mill. Hmm. Yeah, if you're playing, I want you to have three brainstorms. It's just one thing that I'm feeling in my bones. I'm also wondering, do you really want? Okay, maybe you want to keep the 3/2 Honecker at 2. Do you really want to have three Katsus? Are you realistically playing double Katsu in this deck? I don't think that's your game plan.
Um, I'm really not sure. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
like this has just been thrown together, and I haven't tested with it
Yeah, no,
yet.
no,
So
yeah, like you haven't played it. Yeah, sure. I also, yeah, like I said, I like running the troll counter. The 5k in case of destruction. In case you want to blow out your opponent, I guess. Yeah, I think maybe the best way to approach this build, in my opinion, is to focus more on the 3/2 Sonozaki. Now, I will personally say that I think the 3/2 Sonozaki build is the build that runs the hyper aggressive Tenga shell. So you're milling much further through your deck. But I don't know, to be honest. I think this might actually work really well.
okay. Something we brought up earlier during the actual reviews was the 1/0 TD Katsuhira. Do you think
Oh yeah,
that has any place in this build?
I think because you're running 8 level ones, all of which are at front row level ones, all of which are not good clock encore targets, and all of which die on the backswing, it's viable to run 2 copies of that. I don't know where you'd fit it in.
Do you think you could? Do you think possibly taking out Suiciders is an option?
Well, yeah, I just don't think Suiciders are like the Suiciders in this set. I don't think they're very strong compared to other sets. If you don't badly have a need to like you've got enough front row cards for level 0. You've got Hisomu, you've got and Hisomu is so fine to just playing a front row. And you've got Yuta, you've got 8 front row cards already. Like maybe just bump up your brainstorms a bit and slot those in. Yeah, I think just looking at the level 3 lineup, like the 3 Sonozakis, that triggers me on an emotional and physical level. And the 3 Katsus, yeah, I feel like the 3 Katsu 2 Honecker is like 1 Katsu too many and one Honecker too many. I feel like you can run 2-1. You still have 3 early plays. You still have Chidori at your top end. And I question if that card's ever going to get hit the board, actually. But I guess it's fine. It's the bond targets with advantage. Yeah, I mean, I will say I don't personally know how to build a Nariko deck yet. I haven't spent enough time looking at it because I've been too busy memeing on people with -2 soul. But it seems right now pretty solid. Oh, also no, the other thing is I think you should actually go for the 1/0 salvage event because I think you can run over your opponent pretty easily if you're running the Nariko because you're at what? You're at your last Nariko. If you're playing double Nariko plus a bomb, your bomb is fine. Your second Noriko is going to be what you would have played for, so it's going to be 6k, 7k.
I still think there's
Oh.
value in like being able to push for damage though, because this deck doesn't have a reverse.
okay.
This deck doesn't have a reverse combo, which was the main argument that like a lot of people gave against running the 1/1 version as opposed to the 1/0 version. So being able to like you said, field Hisomu in front row or something like that is,
Yeah.
and then being able to direct for 2 or 3 with a climax is something that you wouldn't be able to do if you had the 1/0 event. You would be punching yourself for 1 extra as opposed to punching your opponent for 1 extra, which I think is something that this build can take advantage of.
Yeah. I also think your climax split is perfect.
Okay.
I think that's definitely the right one to do. Yeah. I don't know. I really want to see more Noriko builds. Because I know Noriko is the most expensive card, question mark, but not for the right reasons, obviously. But I do want to see more builds with her because I want to get more ideas on how to model it.
All right. Well, Noriko has gone down in price since your initial reviews. I think it was like 1280 to start, and it was the most expensive double R, and it has since gone down to 10. Meanwhile, both of the early drops have gone up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Honoka's 13, Katsuhita's 15.
Well, at least they figured it out.
Yeah. And 1-0 Tenga, the lowest double R. Oh, baby.
See, that's definitely wrong, but that's okay. That's okay.
So that pretty much concludes our set review and analysis and whatnot. So hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to be leaving links down to Phillip's blog / YouTube channel down in the description box below, so you guys can go check out his review of Kiznaiver if you have another 3 hours that you want to kill after watching this.
Only 2 hours.
If you have another 2 hours to kill after watching this.
And there's breaks for you to go meme and get some snacks and, you know, vape a little bit and maybe listen to some Shannon Knoll or some AC/DC.
Yeah, just remember though.
Men at work.
Just remember though, if you're gonna light it up, it's got to be a 0-0 Utah.
0-0 Utah, man. Oh my god, that is talk about greening out.
Okay, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Pesh Cats and Phillip from MakeMarikaGreat.
So boys, stay tuned.
What he said.